mwanangu Yesu. Bila wewe sitashinda dunia.
How to understand the motive. And when you are very sure, and also I have to understand the motive of the buyer, okay? The motive of the person bringing in the service or the good. Just like you are saying, this other person who came here, perhaps was not the owner of the company, but the motive might have been indeed, isn't it? Perhaps he was so much interested in how he can reap something from the company, okay? But he was not able to deliver, isn't it? So you also have to look at the motive of the other part, okay? As much as you are looking at the motive of this others of your organization, also look at the motive of the seller. Are together? And you see, this other company may be keeping confidential information. Confidential information. Like somebody is acting on behalf of another person's company, but it's not telling you. Okay? It's not telling you. So it's hiding some confidential information. So it is you to uncover, to get that information. Okay? You can do several tests. Are you together? You can do several tests. Like for example, if it's a company, you can even ask the directors to give you the list of directors. You see, like the bank normally ask what we call CR12. Okay? CR12. If they are to deal with it, so that CR12 will see the list of direct. And you can also ask for a registration certificate. Okay? And you can also still ask for a letter, okay, from the direct, and even the phone numbers of the direct. Okay? You are now doing due diligence. Are together? Don't rush to enter that contract, because you are also have to unveil the confidential information. Okay? You see, there is the target company. He wants to increase the volume of his sales, okay? Has to increase the market, okay? So you can use everything, but you, on the other side, also have to be very, very keen, okay? So I want us to look at the scope. What's the scope of due diligence? Of due diligence. The scope of due diligence. Now, the scope, we are looking what it covers, okay? Which areas it covers. Due diligence is transaction-based. Transaction-based. It's transaction-based. Okay? It's transaction-based, and it depends on the needs of the people. Okay? It depends on the needs of the people. Needs of the people. Okay? Depends on the needs of the people who are involved in investment. The needs of the people who are involved in investment. Okay? So it's business. Okay? It's a business transaction. Yeah? So it covers business transaction. And then it's legal. Okay? It's legal. It is legal. It is financial. That it involves money. Okay? And it's for business communities. For business communities. For business communities and even potential investors. And for potential investors. So we are saying you can sue somebody for either negligence in the transaction. That's why it is legal. Okay? It involves money. It involves people who are in business. And for anybody who wants to invest, okay? A potential investor. Okay? So it covers such a kind of people. So these people need proper information of all the transactions that are going to be involved, either on their assets or liabilities. Okay? Either on the assets or liabilities. All together. They need that information. So assets or their liabilities. You see, assets are wealth, liabilities are credits. Okay? So when it comes to this information that needs to be scrutinized or needs to be looked at, they can either be, if the information will follow in the following categories that we look at. We can have financial, human resource. We can have tax. We can have environmental, can also have legal matters, intellectual properties, and then intellectual property. In fact, like what I was saying, I do a lot of training, and I'm a very good trainer. And that's why I say, I told my son, I want to document all my strengths, okay? So that I'll put them on the CD, okay? And I know they will go very far to several people, okay? Instead of losing that's intellectual. Now it's an intellectual property. You see? The way I will present my training is a gift, isn't it? I'll make it very simple, okay? And I don't want any other person to come and use and say, I'm now Davis, I'm presenting this training and you might not present the way I'm presenting, isn't it? So that's an intellectual, So that's why I'm documenting and making copyrights, okay? And then you can even patent and protect them, isn't it? So, scope of duty, it covers financial, human resource, tax, environmental, and legal and intellectual property. So like when you are dealing with the Davis, be very sure you are dealing with the Davis. If somebody comes here and says it's Davis, you have to scrutinize. You say, no, you are not Davis. Isn't it? You are not there. But you are coming from Davis and associated, but you are not there. You are not Davis. Don't say you are the Davis. This is a man can come in and say, now I'm Davis, I'm going to train you. You have to scrutinize. So due diligence would include thorough understanding of all the obligations of the target company. Any other company wanting to deal with the Marosa self-help group, you have to know it better. Know its debts, its rights and obligations, pending and potential lawsuits, leases, warrants. You see, there's a company who may want to deal with you. Now, wana madeni, wana makesi, wameshtakiwa na makampuni zingine, isn't it? So all those things you have to know, okay? You have to know. Don't just enter into a business transaction. You don't know if that company has debts, okay? And that's why sometimes bigger companies ask for their financial statements, okay? Give us financial statements for the last years. Okay? Or even your financial state, your bank statement, so that we see the stability. Okay? Because like somebody who says so wants to build a road. And if somebody says he wants to build a road, surely, you would even say, give us a statement to show that you have ever built another road. Are you together? You cannot believe somebody saying, "Me, I build roads." Say, bring financial statement, and you are audited financial for the last 3 years. You check those things. And then there are things you need to be given warranties. So like even when you are building a road, there should be a warranty. If the road cannot last for, let's say, 6 years, isn't it? Or 1 year, you'll have to do the repair. So, would you do the repair? So you sign a warrant, isn't it? There's a condition, and during the warranty period, it will not pay you because it might have done a shoddy job. So you put the warranty. Okay? So you have to scrutinize these things. Don't just give somebody the car, you to build a road. You have to analyze those things. Are you together? And also I've said you look at if that. Okay, let me note them this due diligence here. You will also have to look at due diligence. One has debts, rights to do the job, the rights, those are the licenses, rights and obligations, and then pending and potential lawsuits. Lawsuits, leases, you look at the leases, warranties. Yeah, those are some of the things you look at. Does that company has a lot of debts? Okay, perhaps it's coming in for you to solve their debts. Or does it have the licenses? That's the rights and obligations? Does it have pending? See, there's a company which has cases in courts, isn't it? And even there's a company which might be sued in the future. All those things you look at. Okay? And leases is just like rental. Okay? If they have a lease for quite some period. And then warranties, we have said, can they give you assurance? Okay? If things don't work, they will compensate you. Okay? So, I want us to look at if you are doing a due diligence, what will you investigate? So, investigation, for due investigation and inspection that you have to do on due diligence. These are the compliance. First, we'll look at compliance with applicable laws. Like for example, you want somebody to build a road nowadays, that contract has to be registered with the NCA. That has to be compliant. If you want someone to build a road, it has to be registered with the National Construction Authority. That's the first item we will check. Okay? And then regulatory violations or disciplinary action. That's why you see, if somebody builds a bad road, okay, that should be the regulation, isn't it? NCA gives regulation. If you build a bad road, they can either register you, okay? All together. Like for example, as accountants, we are registered with a body, okay? And as also as CS, I'm registered with a If I misbehave, I can be rejected. Are you together? So you also look at the youth, lateral violation or disciplinary act, and then litigations. There is that litigation and assessment. An assessment of feasibility. Feasibility of pursuing litigation. So you have to see if this person, if we did a bad job, okay? Do you have room to sue him? You see, you can engage in somebody whom you cannot sue, okay? Okay? There are people who can come in. You cannot sue that person, okay? So you also look at, are there chances if we did a bad job, can we sue that person, okay? You weigh. Are you together? And then financial statements. I talked about financial statements. It's a very important thing, financial statements. Request. Financial statements. Request, at least for 3 years, okay? Or his bank statement. And then you can also assess assets. Assets, that's real and intellectual property. And intellectual property. Intellectual property, brand value. Brand and value. So you have to assess this person. Somebody will say, if you gave somebody of the Captain Cocotel to build a road, that person, even the asset value of Cocotel